Hello, everyone, and welcome to AHL Crosscheck featuring Week 1 of the LGAHL. I'm your host, Garbs, and with me today I have.
xKillhouse, the GM of Portland Pirates.
This week was pretty hectic trying to get this show out. It's pretty late at this point. I had some people that weren't able to do it that pulled out after, and it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to exactly. So we have what we have now. So this is for this week. Hopefully, we have more members next week, so we might as well just hop into this show right now. So, Killhouse, what was the first thing that we were going to go over?
The first thing was the around the league right now. The around the league, the hot thing after week one was Utica going 6-3 when everybody thought they would be at the bottom of the barrel coming out of bidding. Um, that was a shocker, I think, to a lot of people.
Yeah,
With
their team, it just a lot of people that no one really knew, and it just seemed that everyone was like, okay, we don't know them, so they're going to be at the bottom. And sure enough, they surprised everyone. Golden Ace is having a good week on that team. A lot of guys having good weeks on that team. And Vadi actually built a good team with legit sniper to go 6-3 on the week, which is not what everyone expected at all.
I agree completely there. I was shocked too. I mean, I had Golden Aces before bidding. I had Golden Aces backing up Viva, and I traded them. So I could have had Golden Aces as my backup to Viva La Rangers.
That's right. That's right. That guy actually was in the NHL. He got traded around, and then he ended
Yeah,
up
he got
on
sent down to
Utica.
us. He went from Florida. He got sent down to me, and then right before bidding, we moved him. So, and then after the week, we're like, oh, maybe we shot ourselves in the foot with that. But I got Jay Whispers now back in Viva up, so I'm confident in Jay Whispers this week. So
Yeah, it's things happen, I guess, and that's one of the things that happened. Anyways, next up, we're going to be moving on to some of the players of the week that did well this season or this week. Sorry.
season
Um,
week one only. Jesus.
yeah, week one only, and I'm saying season. Anyways, I'll let you start with who is your top forward on the week.
My top forward, I got. He didn't get any love in the power rankings, but I'll give him some love for now as Exo Super from Bridgeport Tigers. I think the reason he didn't get any love is because out of his 19 points, only 4 of those were goals. So he's definitely a passer, playmaker, assist man. And he only had a +3 out of all those points. So I mean, that's a big probably reason why he didn't get on that power rankings. I would say with a two
Yeah.
and one record and a +3 with only 4 goals is goals way more than assists on the when it comes to this power rankings and the plus minus do too. So, but we'll give him a shout out for one of the hot forwards of the week for week one.
Yeah, he definitely had a good week and got definitely got chinched on those power rankings. I could see why though with the so many assists and stuff. For my player of the week, I'm going to take it over to the St. John Ice Caps, where Cadillac Eldo actually had a very good week. He had a perfect record of 3-0-0, and he also got 16 points and was a plus 10, which was hard to go through because not many people pick up a good plus minus as a forward. It's tough, and 16 points along with that, it looked like a good week for the guy. And he was kind of just alone on there with his team. Like you look at Bridgeport, they had a lot of players in the power rankings. Not so many were up there with the Ice Caps at all.
Yeah, I agree there completely. Bridgeport pretty much dominated those power rankings this week.
Yeah, Bridgeport was all over it. So now we're gonna go over to your. Who do you think didn't have a or sorry, who is your top forward for or top D man?
D
Jesus,
man.
top D man.
Well, we were talking before the show, and I think we're gonna give the first D man, top D man. It's a pairing, the Salty Sailor and Losh X26 from Binghamton. I
Yeah,
think the only plus things from Binghamton from week one was those two D pairing at 3-0 with a +17.
yeah,
So
that's like plus
20 plus
17. Like
17 is
I
ridiculous.
tried looking because we talked about a salty sailor being one, and then I tried to look for someone else that may have been a top D man, and I couldn't look away from the plus 17 out of both of them.
Yeah, then I saw it Losh, and I mean that obviously D pairing is working, so they've got to stick together. If they break that up, they might be in for a hurt. And
Yeah, that's one that has to stay. And we're also, since we picked two Binghamton Senators, that we're gonna give out a honorable mention kind of thing here to who did we say it was gonna be? Chester Cheeto.
yeah, Chester Cheeto with the +10. I know with 3 points and 1 goal, 2 assists, but I've had Cheeto a few seasons back. Good D man, lockdown D man, and that +10 goes a long way when showing your abilities as D man for shutting down opposing offenses. So
Yeah, most definitely because like a plus 10, I know he only got 3 points, but his record was also perfect at 3-0-0. So, that's always a bonus too. That if you're winning games, really what does the points matter? Especially as a D-man.
yeah,
All right, and we're going to go on to who we thought our goalies of the week were. I'll start with mine this time. Nicholas 08 chick from San Diego Gulls had a 4-0-0 record, a 2.40 goals against average, I think, and an 85.1 save percentage, also putting in one shutout. The Gulls had a very good week, and obviously that he has been a part of that by stopping pucks when he had to.
yeah. For mine, I was gonna go with I'm gonna go with Hutch 23-23 from the Baby Pens. I went 3-0-1 on the week with a 1.85 goals against average and an 87.3 save percentage. And his only loss is an overtime loss to my line on Portland. Um, so Hutch obviously did a lot of right things that week. And I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to give an honorable mention shout out to my goalie Viva though. Viva killed it with a 5-1 record, 2.53 goals against, 79.7 save percentage, going against the top teams we faced last week. Plus a 2-0 shutout against Stockton, an
Yeah,
opening night.
that's a
So
big
I
night.
just have to give a shout out to Viva, but I'm not going to pick him as my player because it's my team.
Yeah,
So
that's fine. I'm also trying to stay away from saying anything about the Ontario Reign. I know that myself and Taco both made the power rankings, but we're gonna have to avoid those.
yeah, of
Cause
course I just had to do it because we're so short on stat this week.
yeah, like I know that there's a lot of there's Ontario guys on there, and there's also us up there in the team power rankings. So we'll give some love to the teams that aren't here today with us.
Yep.
And we gave a dud of the week. Um, I think you can start with that.
Yeah, I think I took the defense, which was Major K. Conlon from Binghamton Senators. I don't know what's going on there. They have one good line with two D pairing, and everybody else has sucked. I guess he had a minus
Yeah,
12, 2 points, which are both goals, but he was 0-3. I don't know what happened there. I guess penalties. Who knows?
yeah. I don't know. It's just
I
bad
think he was a
week.
CHL player called up. Maybe he just couldn't adjust to the AHL level yet. Um,
I played with
had
him in some scouting games when scouting was around, and he's not a bad D man. I know I was in a couple games where he was good, and there's a couple games where he's bad. So I don't know what his consistency level is. Maybe, and I haven't really heard about him before scouting that time. So that's probably he's probably relatively new, and I mean making a jump up to the AHL, it's a different game, really.
yeah, it's definitely a different style game than the CHL. It's a lot faster paced, I think. I mean, he tried out for some of my games, my scouting games. He had good games and bad games. So he obviously can show ability to hang in the AHL,
Yeah.
but it's just whether or not he could be consistent, like you said, with it. So
Yeah, it's one of the things that you build as you play in the AHL. I know. I had my moments when I first started playing sixes in this site. That consistency was something that I really had to work on, and I'm starting to, as you go, you start to earn that, and I'm sure that's the same with almost everyone who's joined this league.
pretty much, yeah. I
I'll go on and say the goalie dud. Now, I don't know how many people would expect this, but we're actually going to give it to Zero Choice. Now, we have our reasons behind it. Um, Zero Choice, the reason why we're giving it to him is because we know he's capable of so much more. Like, he is a solid goaltender, and he just didn't have his week. I don't know if he just couldn't find his rhythm with his new team or what it was, or something was just not working for him, but we know that he's capable of high stats and even getting into the who's hot goalies. So when you drop down there and you're expected to play as you do, that's kind of what happens really.
Yeah. I was shocked at 0-0 doing so poor, especially since he's the GM of Albany and he got to pick his own team. So
Yeah, you get to pick your own D, and I don't know if it was a
it doesn't
defensive
always
issue.
pan out the way you want it, though. I mean, and Zero always does play the top lines of the week or the top teams of the week.
That's
So
true. He does play every top team, and I remember him saying that to me that he does not pick any duds. He always picks the top teams. So that's one thing we have to give to him. Maybe he just had a really tough week. Like maybe he played all the top teams in one week. You never know.
never know.
You never
Never
know with that.
know. Yeah.
Did we have a dud forward? I can't.
I didn't have one. I thought you did, but I ain't just go through the list. I mean, shocker. I never would have thought Snoopy would have went 0-3, or you go first hybrid, another Binghamton forward who went -12. Like, there's a lot of -7s and five. There's a lot of negativity in the forward world. A lot
Yeah,
of
it's
0-3s.
it's hard to select a forward really. I think I looked through it quickly and it was like, wow, there's a lot of guys on here. And really, forward, it's kind of you're either good or you're either bad. It's
Yeah,
maybe
I think if you looked at the who's not hot forward, I mean, literally it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's about 7, 8 teams total on who's hot, not hot forward list.
yeah,
That's it. Just 7 teams.
yeah. The the one thing I could think about that though is it's week one and chemistry may not have been built yet. Lines aren't exactly fully set yet, and
I agree with that completely. The line's not being set in week one. However, unfortunately, week one should be the easiest week to get your wins and get a feel for your team because every team's going through that like you are,
yeah,
unless they've been. There's obviously the teams are going to have the one or two guys who always play together. Always, you're always going to have those teams. However, the week one should be your easiest week to put up a 500 week. Most of the teams you're going to have you should have that one or two teams who like Utica or like who or Bridgeport, they win all their games, win almost all their games for the week. But the rest of the pack should be roughly around 500, if not a game or two below 500. I you need to be there to start the season at a place where you're not falling too far back like the Manitoba Moose. So
yeah. We'll get into them later.
yeah,
The uh, the one thing I also have to say about that is there's gonna be games. So anyone really week one is almost anyone's week really, and once you start settling into week two and three is when you really seed out which teams did well in bidding overall, because that's when you know which guys are set together and stuff and how your
I
team
don't
is
know.
working.
You may not see that with Portland though, because I made the shit ton of trades in week one.
That's true. Trades. Maybe those teams down below need to make some trades just to find some players to fill in
Yeah,
for roles that aren't stepping up.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think this is the first season as management that I haven't seen too many waivers. There hasn't been that many waivers already yet.
Yeah, I
So
got one though that we might as well throw out there. I can't remember when it happened, so I might not be able to say this, but Gala Apples got waived.
yeah, I think he fell down to the CHL. Actually, I don't think he got picked up.
So
Um,
that's something I did not see coming. I played him. He didn't stand out overall too much, but usually an NHLer is able to hold his own in
yeah,
the AHL.
I agree there completely. Let me see. Yeah, he fell to the CHL. I'm pretty sure nobody claimed him. Um, but yeah, from what I understand, I've never really played with Gallup, but from what I understand, it's his attitude. Um, he's a cancer, I hear. So
Yeah, I mean, you see
that's why a
him.
lot of teams did it. I heard he's good on the sticks. Just he's cancerous, and teams try to avoid that nowadays. So you see a lot of the cancer players fall into the CHL nowadays, and
Yeah, I mean, it brings the team down, especially even it just takes one player because that's one game. That's usually three games there that you have to deal with him as a
yeah.
cancer.
So
Um, okay, let's see what topic can we move on to next here. We could move on to the team of the week.
uh,
So,
the team of the week, I got to give it to Bridgeport. You know, Kirita did it again. Yeah,
yeah,
he did it again. Honorable mention there is obviously Grand Rapids. They
yeah, we
shot
have to
a lot
give
of
them
people
some
seven
love.
one and 1-2.
I was gonna say something about that because they have the same record as them and they're
Yep.
holding their own in a different conference. So
Yeah, they're definitely out of the West is Grand Rapids, but Bridgeport edges them out for the team of the week, even though they have the same record. Bridgeport's goal differential is better,
Yeah.
shot differential is better, top power play goal scoring that week. They were in the probably top 15 in PK. Time on attack. Their stats all across the board. Bridgeport just had an awesome week one.
Yeah,
So
that's really what
it'd be
stole the
interesting to
show.
see if they can keep it up.
Yeah, if they can keep it up, that's definitely a great feat to have after week one and moving forward. All right, so now we're going to get into the team that we've already sort of mentioned that
Yeah,
really did not have a good week at all. The Manitoba Moose they struggled bad. Like it's
I 1-6-2. I mean, that's good. You got the two overtime losses. I mean, you got one win, six losses, right? So you look at the two. You got to, as a GM, there, you have to look at the two overtime losses. You know, it shows you could hang with the teams. You just can't close games out. So
yeah,
if you close those out, you're 3-6. You're almost there. I don't know how many of those other six losses were one goal games, but it looks to me that it just from the two overtime losses that maybe they just can't close the game out and they're going to lose one goal games, and those will kill you.
yeah,
Um,
those kill you in the end. A lot of teams say, "Hey, it's just a one goal loss," but in the end, those are all going to add up.
yep.
Like, and especially I know they got two ties, but you can't win off of ties at all. You
Yeah.
can't. You can't win off of overtime losses. I know you get the 1 point, but if you keep getting those, that's 1 point, and everyone else is doubling your points. That's not going to give you a playoff spot.
Nope. Not going to happen.
No, I mean lots of season left. Like they have lots of season left to turn it around and figure out what they have to fix. Whether it's trading people, moving lines around, um, giving a different goalie more games, finding a new goalie, even finding one on their TC even sometimes helps.
Yeah.
Like I've seen TC goalies come up and they steal the show. They come up from the CHL and they find a way to help a team out.
I agree. Yeah. I just TC players are wonders. I mean, the GMs that don't make trades for better TC players, that's you got to do it. I mean, do, that's your depth right there because week 5, 6, even week 8 or 9. What if a forward of yours has to go on vacation or work? Summer's coming up. Spring break's coming up.
Yeah.
You need to be able to have that roster depth on your TC for a caliber guy who could just step up and fill in a role and handle the job in the AHL. So
Yeah, that's why it's good to find who your TC guys are that are good, so that way you know who to bring up. So it's not a last minute struggle, and you're pulling out someone who you don't know what to expect, and you don't get what you want in the end result.
I agree completely there. Oh, I just closed the damn page out I wanted. God damn it. Yeah. I think next we were talking about the team who wanted to turn it around the most.
Yeah,
Who we turn it around.
a team that we think will turn this week around and eventually climb back up as the season goes on, and we're going to give that to the Bakersfield Condors. I think we agreed upon.
Yeah.
Um, Looking at them, I think they're going to eventually figure out a way to know what they're doing. They're going to figure it out eventually. They're going to find something that blends good, and I think I could see them definitely moving back into a playoff position. And or are they in the playoffs still?
No.
No. Okay. I could see them moving up and getting eventually a spot in the playoffs if they can do what we think they're gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it now, I mean, Bakersfield's at 8 points right now. They're 4 points out. That's we're filming into this week a little bit. 4 games have already been played, so mind you, but I think they could turn it around. Um, they're 0-3 up to this point with after Monday night's games. They're 0-3 in one goal games, which will hurt you.
Yeah, it will hurt you.
Look,
So
you can't. You're losing by a goal a game. You take those. They win by a goal. Those 3 games are 3-0 in one goal games. You're now instead of 6 points back, you have 6 extra points.
yeah,
So, at, at 8 points right now. Those 6 points, you're at 14 points, and you are sitting fifth, sixth, or seventh in the West right now. Uh, I mean, big difference there.
Yeah, you just everything's gonna add up eventually, and hopefully they can do what we expect them to do, and they can turn this thing around. And for our last thing here, we're gonna have the MVP of this week overall for all of the players in the league. I think I'll let you. Do you know, or do you want me to just say it?
Yeah, I got it. I think we came just us two. We came to an agreement that it's got to go to the top forward of the week. The most well, not the most points, but it was NHL LJ 13, I think it is.
NHL JL 13. So yeah,
Yeah,
close enough.
JL 13 from Bridgeport. He definitely he had to be playing with XO Super because he's got to buy the guy a beer, something, a car, something for all those assists, the goals he's given him. Those points, they do a lot wonders. So I think he's definitely the MVP of the week one. But we'll see if he can maintain, him and Super together can maintain that momentum for a 100-point season. So that'll be
Yeah.
interesting to watch during the season.
Yeah, just looking at it, it looks like they are a duo based on how the stats are working out with Super having a lot of assists and JL having a lot of goals. If you can keep that line together, those two guys at least together, you're going to find a lot of success in them. And I don't know if they've played together in previous seasons because it's almost like a brother kind of chemistry they have going on there. One's making the passes and one's scoring the goals. And when you have that going out of two players, that's going to win you games.
Oh yeah, that'll win you games all the time. I mean, I've always said that as a GM, you need to have on each forward line, not each forward line, but at least on one preferably every forward line, you need at least two forwards who know what they're doing together, and they could just know where the other person's going to be without having to look in the ice. Look across the ice. I mean, you should be able to see it obviously, but like you should be able to know where you should have to put the puck for him to score real quick. Um, and with that chemistry goes a long way in transitioning into winning games. So
Yeah, just knowing where a guy is on the ice without having to actually ask or
oh,
have to really take a long look at things is always going to help out with I mean just making plays in general and making plays that aren't readable.
I agree completely. Yeah,
Yeah, so those two guys if they keep going, that's going to be the force of this league, I think, overall.
yeah. I mean, really now after week one's in the books. The main thing now is to watch what teams turn it around week 2 and 3, and what teams can maintain and gain a higher lead over non-playoff teams right now to solidify their spot in the playoffs. Because I mean, the beginning of people say a bad start to the season can hurt you, but it also can make you. So
Yeah.
to me, that's got to be a big thing is maintaining the momentum. You don't want to go from putting up a 12, 14 point week to putting up sorry, but a 2 or 4 point week. You got to maintain the points to make sure you stay in playoffs, and that's the goal. So
Yeah, that's definitely the goal. It's once you pass week once you get going into week 3, I think is when that's when everyone's kind of hit the ground. They've kind of found their placement and they're really ready to go.
yeah, I agree completely.
I guess on that note, we can wrap up this first episode of the show. There's not much more to say. Obviously, this will be coming out weekly, and we will have more members of the panel on. You'll
Yeah,
be seeing this guy here, more often, so that'll be good.
I'll,
Um,
yeah, I'll be here every week mostly. Maybe a week or two off every now and then, depending on my
yeah,
schedule stuff. But I think we messaged back and forth the past 3 days trying to get this out, and other times just kept working up, something kept coming up, and so hopefully next week we get the rest of the panel up here, um, and to be an interesting take to get more opinions.
yeah, most definitely. All right, I think we should be good now. Really. I
Yeah,
think we can end it now. I have to thank you for actually coming on. You were kind of you wanted to be on it, and I said, well, I have people ahead of you, and then people dropped off, and I said, hey, can you do it? And then you did what you said. We did the back and forth for a few days, and we finally got it done. So,
yeah,
thank you for that.
yeah, not a problem. I mean, I was gonna do my own show. I was thinking about it already, but since you took the reins of it, I was like, all right, I don't have to do the work. I just have to talk. That's it. So it
Yeah, you
worked.
get the easy job. Now I got to go through and edit this whole thing.
Yeah, have fun with that. Go to fucking bed.
All right. Thanks to everyone for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Yep. Have a good one, guys.